What's up guys, and welcome back. And if you're just joining us now, thank you. Today we're gonna continue working on the Acadian. So yesterday what I had to do is I took those top plates, those mounts for the shock and the control arm, lined them up on the car exactly where they should fit, like up and down the chassis kind of deal, totally in line with the subframe. I had to figure out how far it had to go in. I used the reference point from the inside of the tube of the chassis to the top control arm mounts. And that way I'm gonna have more place so I can adjust positive and negative camber, because before I can only adjust my positive camber because the control arms were too far out. The other problem was with the rake. The top control arm didn't have the same rake as the bottom control arm, which is built right into the subframe. So when I put those on, I pulled out the magnet, the protractor, the angle finder, and I made sure to match those two up. So with everything in place, I tack welded it, did some final adjustments. You know, I had to do a few little twists and turns, and I had to use the hammer at one point to knock it out a little bit further than I initially had it. On one side, I actually had to build up a little bit of metal because when I cut them off, it was really hard to get in there, and it got weird. I had to make all the proper adjustments. Now everything is the same on both sides. The rake, the camber, the caster, all the angles, all the dimensions, they're spot on. It looks all ugly and yada 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 because I'm welding it up and stuff. And so I think the next step would be to box in this mount. I had to chop the top off, like the inside. So I'm gonna have to box that in. Structurally, I don't think I really have to because those welds are pretty solid, but cosmetically, it's gonna look pretty cool. So I'm gonna fashion me some pieces for the top of that and put those in and weld them in nice and flush, and then take my flap disc and make it look good. I did a bunch of grinding, a bunch of molding. I made everything fit nice. I got those plates that I originally chopped off the top of the shock mount. I got those to fit pretty nice in there, so it's looking good. After that, we'll move up to the steering rack. Okay, so I'm advancing nicely. Next thing up I gotta do is find a way to hold the steering column in because it's bolted on top on the dash, but when it comes down, you can see right here, it sort of touches on the firewall. So I gotta pull it over just a little bit. And what I have to do is make a bracket that keeps it held that way. So I started with this. Now, I'm gonna make this piece here, kind of like that design. And the idea is, holds from that brace to there, bolts into this here, which pulls it over. See what happens. Well, halfway through everything, cameras died again. I guess what happens is that I get so into what I'm doing that I don't pay attention to the camera anymore, and then I just leave it recording, and then I probably cut out like 98% of the stuff I film. I just keep the good stuff for you. Batteries all died while I was charging. I had to run out and get a few things, and then I also put the rest of that front end back together. So I'm further than I was before. We're just about ready to get this thing on the ground rolling. Check it out. So I didn't have the proper lug nuts, but I did find these. It says Volk Racing on them, but I bought them at a garage sale for like $5, and they got these weird Allen head deals that kind of cover the Allen key socket thing, and they feel super cheap, and I bet money that I'm probably gonna strip these. It gets the wheels on the car, it gets the car on the ground, gets my job done for the day. So now the moment I've been waiting for like a year now, she's going back on the ground. Okay, I know it's a small thing, but it makes me so happy. Finally get to see it back on the ground, on her own, 4 legs, 4 tires, 2 feet, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, baby. It's a rolling chassis. I'm content. I'm gonna get back on it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna put the motor onto the transmission, get that in the car, get the transmission mounted, then go pick up the motor mounts, and that way I can start fabricating all the brackets for those motor mounts. So that'll be tomorrow. This was today. Today was a good day. Things didn't work out exactly how they were supposed to, and it took a lot longer than they should, but that's realistically always what happens, right? You can't expect to have everything work out perfect all the time, because then it would be too easy, everybody would do it, and there wouldn't be anything special about it. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes heart. You can't give up, you gotta. So, to USA, good night, good day, good morning, depending on whenever you're watching this. Peace. Follow that heart, follow the dream, and stay happy. I'll catch up with you guys later.